Hi folks, Colin here, good to see you. I'm going to tell you how to make music from your pentatonic scales today, because this is something that comes up quite a lot with people learning the guitar. So the first scale most people learn is the pentatonic scale, usually at the 5th fret, so the A minor pentatonic, so it starts on 5 and it goes 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. And all that happens is people learn that scale and they just play it up and down. And I don't really know what to do with it. So the first thing I would suggest is to start to just look at little bits of the scale and just try repetition, repeating those. It's like, and just use a little bit of timing. So I'm just playing that. I'm just playing that 5th fret on the G string. Da 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 da. I'm just doing a little bit of repetition, so I'm playing that 5th fret, then coming down 7, 5 on the D, back up. I'll actually put a 7 on the G. And that's all you really need to do. Now the next thing you can do is you can start to follow the chord changes. So that might have been played over an A or an A minor. Now we've got to play something similar, and I'm kind of making it up as I'm going along, so apologies if the notes aren't exactly the same every time, but you get the idea. So I'm using the same idea over the D chord, so I'm playing my D chord at the 10th fret. So I'm just playing that. Now I'm playing the pattern 1 scale up at the 10th fret. So I'm using my 10 on the G and a 12 and 10 on the D. And if I want to go over the E chord, I can do the same thing. Maybe just mix it up a little. Over the D chord, then back to the A chord. So that's the other thing you could do. You could start to put little chord stabs in. Over the D chord. And back to the over the 5 chord, the E chord. D. So already it's starting quite musical. It's starting to sound more musical, and you're not really doing too much. You're just playing little parts of the pentatonic scale over the chords, and you're just adjusting the timing. You're using a little bit of note repetition, and it's starting to sound a bit musical. So the next thing you can do is you can start to play pairs of strings at the same time. So I'm just playing, instead of just the, I'm actually playing the B and the G at the same time. And you should be able to hear the chord change as I move up and down. I'm just going from over the E, down 1 fret, and then into the D at the 10th, back to the 5th fret. So I'm not really doing very much, and it's not perfect, because I'm doing this live and I'm just making it up as I'm going along, but you're starting to hear music coming in, so you're starting to hear the chord changes, and it's sounding a lot more musical. Okay, so the next thing I would suggest is just going slightly out of the scale. So if you're playing that scale, you can come down. So you're playing the fret below the 5th string, and you're just putting a little bit of a swing on it. And you know, again, you're just starting to make it sound a little bit more musical. So now, if we were to do over 2 strings, so I'm just using a couple of strings, and I'm just using the same sort of ideas. So the next thing you can do, so you can start to add in extra notes. So that's actually the flat third there on the 5th fret, and we're just putting the major third against it. So that's the C going to C sharp, because actually the major third's in the chord of A. So you can add in that, so that's going from 5 to 6, and it works over the D chord, and over the E chord, D chord, A chord. So you can just make little riffs out of that. Back to the 1, up to the 5, and when I'm saying 1, 4 and 5, I'm talking about the intervals. So if you're in the key of A is the 1, and if you're in the key of D, you count up A, B, C, D, so D is the 4, if you're in the key of A, D is the 4 chord, A, B, C, D, and E is the 5 chord. So we talk about the 1, 4 and 5 chords. So you only get 3 major chords in a major key, so A being the 1, D being the 4, and E being the 5. If you're in the key of G, G would be the 1, C would be the 4, and D would be the 5. Okay, so let me think, if I missed anything out in terms of things that you can do. I think that's pretty much it. So the main thing is really timing, so changing. So timing and repetition. You can even just use 1 note. And if you use 2 strings, and you slide into it, then move over the chords, back to 1, okay, use the blue notes. So the other blue note is a flat 5. So when you're playing the pentatonic scale in pattern 1, you can as you know, it's 5 8 5 7 5 7 5 7. You play 8 on the G. That's you get in the blue note. It's also on the 6 on the A. So if you just go over your G string, and it's also 4 on the B string. So you just find those extra notes, just add them in. And just put in little kind of double stops. You call 2 strings played at the same time, so double stop. Okay folks, I think that's enough for today. I'll come up with more ideas and try and do a weekly set of videos just giving you tips to help your guitar playing. These are simple things that, you know, I've learned to play the guitar by playing the guitar, not by going to a school of music. So you know, it's very practical the way I teach music. And if you're interested in learning more about, you know, I'm doing a country course which is starting tomorrow. That's Sunday the 14th of January 2024, and it's going to be over 4 weeks, interactive on Zoom. So it's not going to be too many people. It's retailing for £27, and the first seminar is absolutely free. So you can come along, I'll teach you how I play, I'll give you lots of ideas, lots of really practical things, just like that I've just done there. And if you're struggling to move forward in your playing, I'm sure this will help you a lot. I've got a lot of experience of teaching people now, and seen a lot of progress with folk, and it's most rewarding for me to help people learn to play the guitar, because it took me a long time, and I know it can be quite frustrating. Anyway, I hope you're all well, and I'll see you next time. Keep rocking.